Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to Written in Blood. My name is John, and I'm trying to think of where to begin with this book. Okay, first of all, the name of the book is Sadist by Lucas Mangum, and the picture should pop up on the screen there. Anyway, so first of all, let me go ahead and read the synopsis, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. All right, so let's go with that. Okay, here we go. Pregnant with her father's child, 19-year-old Courtney is a girl on the run, willing to do anything to make her way on the road. When a car accident leaves her wounded by the side of a desolate highway, she is taken in by an environmentalist doomsday cult led by the enigmatic St. Ambrose, a charismatic preacher and ex-environmental scientist who gave up everything after claiming to see the face of God. When he meets the seemingly vulnerable Courtney, he is taken by her beauty and her wounded soul. Now, with the promise of salvation hanging in the balance, Courtney must undergo a series of trials, each more painful and humiliating than the last. Her incestuously conceived baby growing in her womb, a strange presence visiting her at night and telling her Ambrose has lost his way, and it is she who must overthrow him. Okay, so going over a few things in this part right here. First things first, the first chapter of this book, when I read it, I was at work. I just finished the book a few hours ago, probably 3 hours, maybe 4 hours ago. I started reading it about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's almost midnight now here. And I read the first chapter. The first chapter, it's a short book, it's 116 pages maybe. I read the first chapter. First chapter is maybe 2 or 3 pages, all right. So I'm reading it, and it tells about how her dad has been beating her, and she's getting ready to take another beating just for breaking a cup, okay, a mug. And so she goes up to her room, and she takes her clothes off, and she offers herself to her dad, okay, just to keep from being beaten. Okay, so that first chapter, I'm sitting there reading this, and I'm going, what the hell? What the hell? What am I reading here? And so I even posted on Twitter, I said, wow, if this is any indication of how the rest of this book is going to go, then damn. I mean, I posted a GIF that said, damn, And so, and I actually wrote the author, Lucas. I wrote him on Instagram. And I, first of all, asked him about whether he was inspired by a certain movie, and I'll get to that in a minute, okay? So, but I told him, I said, yeah, he said, I saw, he's like, I saw what you wrote about it on Twitter about the first chapter. And he actually told me that he got into a lot of hot water, over the chapter on Reddit, which I thought you could get away with anything on Reddit, but obviously not. I don't know. I've never used Reddit. I just have heard things. But anyway, so I'm like, yeah, I said that first chapter, right away. And the one thing I will say about this is that this is a book that there are a lot of, he takes a lot of liberties with a lot of religious things, especially of the Christian variety. And I told him, I said, I don't think you set out to offend anybody. But I said, but the thing about it is, that if somebody is easily offended, this is going to hit them like a Mack truck with no brakes on a greasy road. That's what it's going to do. I mean, I'm not easily offended, but yeah, like I said, there are parts in this book, like there's one scene where Courtney, the main character, she kind of has this kind of a vision quest or something like that, where she is having sexual relations with both Jesus and Satan at the same time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I said, this is going to just offend so many people. But, like I said, I'm not offended. If you're easily offended, don't read this book. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Don't read this book. So anyway, and then, but then again, if you are offended by this kind of stuff, read it and let me know when you're going to, because I want to see the expression on your face. That's all I can say. Anyway, so like I said, she's willing to do anything to make her way on the road. So she basically prostitutes herself, and she just keeps saving money. But anyway, she ends up at this doomsday cult. She meets this woman that she kind of falls in love with. And the two of them get caught having sex, and she's punished for it. They want to break her. You know, they keep talking about how they want to break her. And so that's what I was getting at. I thought to myself, I said, this sounds really familiar. You know, it sounds like something from a movie that I watched. And I asked Lucas, and I said, is this by any chance, were you by any chance with this book, were you inspired by the movie Martyrs? Which is a French extreme horror film. I've got it over here on my shelf, right here. Anyway, but in that movie, what they do is they torture these girls, and what they're trying to do is they torture them to such extremes that they're basically trying to. They want them to basically have this kind of religious epiphany, this religious, revelation or something like that. So I wrote and asked him, I said, were you inspired by this book? And he's like, or by the movie? He said, yes. Okay. And he said he was also inspired by the movie Nymphomaniac, which is directed by Lars von Trier. Now, I have never seen that movie. Now that he's mentioned it, though, I'm going to have to seek it out and watch it. But anyway, with Saint Sadist, like I said, there are so many scenes in this book where I was just like, holy crap. You know, just some of the stuff he writes about. And he does not pull punches, you know. And I don't mean this as an insult to him, but this book basically has the subtlety of a honey badger or something like that. I don't know. There is just, yeah, it lacks in subtlety, and that's a good thing, you know, because a story like this, you can't be subtle with it. Just forget that, okay? Just send that right out the door, all right? So, yeah, that's basically my kind of sort of review of Saint Sadist by Lucas Mangum. I give it a definite 5 stars. You know, I don't regret giving it 5 stars. You know, most people, I know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm babbling. Sorry about that. Anyway, just want to say, yeah, excellent book. Highly recommended. It's a novella. You might as well call it a novella. It's 116 pages, so it's a novella. And like I said, if you're easily offended, don't read it. Okay. But then again, like I said, also, if you're easily offended, let me know when you're planning on reading. I'd just love to see the look on your face when you just read the first chapter, you know. So, yeah, that's my review of Saint Sadist, 5 stars. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.